Welcome to War Thunder. What's up, dude? How y'all doing today? Well, dev servers up. Yay. Got nothing for you. Really got nothing for you. Um, Another F-16, another MiG-29, another F-16. It's not worth the trouble. I looked through the dev server. If you happen to be one of the 5 people that play naval, you're probably happy that there were some battleships added. Great. Texas is a good looking ship, considering it should be a premium. I know those of you that are probably cursing my name at this point. It should be a premium at $70 with a portion of the receipts going towards the Battleship Texas Restoration Fund. Gaijin chose not to do anything like that. They instead decided to make it a tech tree machine. And instead gave us a Wyoming class for the premium. And I've had a couple of people that thought that was a good idea to actually make Texas into a premium. And I really wish more people would get off their duff and try to preserve some of history. And with Gaijin putting as many historical planes, tanks, ships into a game, helicopters even, and to not put money towards restoration funds. I mean, I would buy the Texas. I'm not going to buy the Wyoming class battleship. I would buy the Texas if they were putting portions of that money towards the restoration fund. It's expensive to keep these museum ships afloat. Now, the last surviving battleship of Japan is encased in concrete. And even then, it still requires tremendous amounts of maintenance to keep up. The HMS Victory, I think, used to be Lord Nelson's battleship, his flagship, a 3-deck ship of the line. Requires tremendous amounts of maintenance. This is what Gaijin should be looking to do. Help save history. Not just put it in a game. And as for the new F-16 and the new MiG-29, etc., ad nauseum, got no use for them. Got no use for them. They're not fun to play. I mean, I've got both F-16s, both F-14s, and I don't play them. I don't like playing them. Because they're just not fun to play. Now you see I've moved back down the line, gone to the F4D1. Well, we're missing some other planes. The F-7U Cutlass. Where is it? People were jonesing for that plane years ago. Years ago. Where's the F-102? The F-101? The F-106? We've got the 104s and we've got the 105s. Where are the other ones? And don't say it's because of the inferior AIM-4 missiles. Well, yeah, they're inferior, but so is the AIM-9B or the R3S. They're horrible. Yet people still get killed with them. Gaijin needs to stop trying to move into today's weaponry. Now, I know some of you are like, I need my today's weaponry because I can't handle anything else. I need to be able to shoot beyond visual range all the time. Or in head-ons with ultra-maneuverable missiles. Where'd the skill go? I used to watch Twitch streamers playing this game. They'd be flying MiG-15s and they would just be toying with people. Not even looking ahead. They'd just be watching behind them and maneuvering, just kind of staying out of the range of the guns or missing their shots. Those players had skill. They're not playing anymore. Why should they? They've proven that they've got the skill to beat everyone in this game. And now they have automatic weapons. Automatic weapons as in weapons that will chase down your target. I know, chaff, flares, blah, 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 blah. 99% of the time, doesn't matter. You go after an F-16 from the Americans, he's got 60 flares. If you're in a plane that's got 6 or 8 missiles, you can get him to waste them. It's not fun at top tier. I can't even begin to tell you how many times I've tried to go in there and I keep looking at the composition of the teams and I'm like, why am I wasting my time? And looking at the maps that we get to fight on. It's no fun. It's seriously no fun. And if I'm not having fun, I'm not going to do it. That's why I step back. I'm flying rank 6. Why? Rank 6 is fun. Well, in some cases. This thing, I can't even imagine why anyone would fly the F-100. It is a sloppy flying pig. The 104s, A lot of people play them. Some people even play them properly. The F3H, a lot of people play that. And they play it properly. Like I said, I use the F4D because I know how to use it properly. And I know when it's not going to be a good match. But this patch is mostly about getting the Hungarian military into the Italian tree. No problem with that. None whatsoever. We did not need the MiG-29 or the F-16s. Now some people have said the F-16 was needed desperately in the Israeli tree. Okay, I'll give you one. But we sure as hell didn't need it in the American tree, and we didn't need a new MiG-29. They could have added the R-73s to the existing MiG-29. They didn't need to put a new one in. And as far as ground forces go, I don't care. Kind of interested that they put the Chaparral in. That was something that should have gone in decades ago. Well, probably not decades, but it should have been added years ago. At least 2 or 3. But right now, we've got too much new stuff. I realize this game is going to live and die by what it adds to the game. The problem is they are not going back and filling in all the stuff they missed. There's a whole boatload of Soviet planes that have not been added. There's a whole boatload of American planes that have not been added. There's a few British planes that have not been added. French ones. This is the bad point of Gaijin. They're just listening to people who are jonesing for the latest and greatest, without paying attention to all the rest of the stuff that they're bypassing. They're not playing right. As a matter of fact, they're hurting the game more than they're helping it. And that bothers me. I'm not saying that if we added in the Ryan Fireball that it would be overpowered. Well, no, it wouldn't. It would be interesting, but it wouldn't be overpowered. The Gutless Cutlass. Interesting plane. Probably has the highest accident rate of any carrier-borne aircraft ever. Not to mention one of the worst maintenance records of any Navy plane ever. They were junk, but they were junk that was used in the Navy, the United States Navy. Do I want to try and land one on a carrier? Hell no! Hell no! That thing is so ungainly. If I were to come into a carrier landing, I would crash every time. The plane is a joke as far as landing. Well, you gotta keep the nose up real high so that the hook can actually connect with anything. Because that nose wheel is about 2 miles long. There's an example of a long nose wheel. Oh, I really didn't want to spend money on that. But I got to. I don't like the Phantom, the British Phantom. That's the type of nose wheel that happens to be on the Gutless Cutlass. Now you're probably wondering, why is that nose wheel so long? Well, it's because the British had small carriers and they needed to increase the angle of attack on takeoff so that they could get in the air without hitting the water after they got launched. The Spey engines were powerful, but they weren't powerful enough to lift the Phantoms without having an angle of attack gift. Cutlass? Sure. What about the F-102? Delta wing? Interesting plane. Shoots AIM-4s, the Falcons of both types, radar and heat-seeking, and it carries Zunis, or not Zunis, folding fin rockets. And that's not the only one. The F-106, again, firing AIM-4s. Now, we don't need to carry the Genie missile, which is the nuclear strike destroying missile. But here we are. We're missing the F-101, the Voodoo. And no, not all of them were recon planes. Some were actual gunfighters. 620 millimeters in the nose. And bat out of hell fast. This is what Gaijin is missing. We're missing Soviet planes. I don't know all of them. But we're missing a lot of Soviet planes. Interceptors. And we don't need another MiG-29. We need to fill in what's missing. While Gaijin gets its head out of its butt and fixes the maps and the missions available. Make the missions more worthwhile. Aviation does not win wars. Aviation helps win wars. Troops on the ground win wars. If you don't have aviation supporting troops on the ground, then the troops on the ground have an infinitely harder time doing their job. And the matches should be set up to work in that method. I know you don't understand that as players. A lot of you players do understand it, but for the majority, it's just, I want to kill something, without thinking about how is this match set up. You just know, take off from runway A, fly up a couple of 1,000 feet, fly forward, and you'll run into the enemy eventually. Well, what if there was a strategic point that your air crew had to defend or attack? And I don't mean the strategic targets. Those are a joke. I'm talking about got to bomb out a bridge. Because if you don't kill the bridge, the enemy's going to come through. Or you have to defend that bridge to keep it from being blown up so that your team can cross the bridge to the enemy side. If you're not doing that sort of work, it's just team deathmatch. And I'm not going to play at top level. I've got the planes, but I could care less about the new ones coming in. I haven't got the latest, well, let me see. Well, I've got the Tornado GR1, which is a strike aircraft. But I haven't quite gotten the Tornado F3, which is a fighter. And it's going to take me a while to get it because I'm just not interested in really working my tail off for it. Now, when I do play, I play the Buccaneer. Why? Because I like it. Because most Buccaneer pilots go in low, like idiots. But because the Buccaneer is so slow, I go high. And it makes sense. Climb to altitude, 20,000 feet, nobody looks for you up there. Nobody. Five minutes into the game, everyone is down at the deck. The highest up they come is maybe about 10,000 feet. You're up at 20,000 feet and climbing, off to the side, nobody sees you. Line up on a base, bomb it, turn around, bomb another one, go home. You don't need to tangle with the yank and crank group who are going right at one another on the deck and just not looking, because all the targets are right between the two bases. It makes more sense to have an enduring confrontation map with a random must do to win. If you don't do this objective to win, you don't win. Nobody wins. You can have a team that loses, but you don't win. That's how this game should work. If you don't complete the objectives, you don't win. I don't care if you shoot down everybody on the enemy team. If you don't complete the objectives, you can't win. Now, I know that would drive some people absolutely nuts if that was the case. And I kind of understand. They're so used to, oh, we shot them all down so we get our victory roll. Yay! Well, no, you let that bridge get bombed out. Therefore, you didn't win. That would really send some people into, let's say, negative connotations of good. But you know what? That's how the game should be played. It's all right to shoot down all the enemy players, but if you didn't do the job, why should you get rewarded? Like I've said, these strategic targets are worthless. And yes, they give you points, they give you lions or eagles, lions. But they regenerate, they come back, they don't disappear. There's no bombing of the enemy base at this point. There used to be bombing of the enemy air base. You could make the enemy air base uninhabitable. But you can't do that anymore. When a bomber can be at an altitude where the enemy AAA and SAM sites can't reach you, well, shoot. Isn't that a shame? And if you want to drop, 12 tons of bombs onto an airbase, followed by somebody behind you doing the same thing, and then just peeling out and going home, you take out the airbase. But right now, you can't do that. The only thing you can do on an airbase is maybe shoot at SAM sites and AAA, or catch somebody on the runway, but that requires some real good luck. And there's a lot of players who will sit in that SAM envelope. And I've watched them. They will sit in that SAM envelope just doing low donuts. And you can't do a damn thing about it other than try to go in after them. And then, like I said, you got a lot of AAA and SAMs. I think they're using Roland's and Alvin Yorks. So this update, it's really got nothing for me. I looked through it and I find it wanting. For those of you that are, like I said, the 5 of you who are naval players, enjoy your battleships. For those of you who are Italian ground forces, enjoy the Hungarian ground forces. And for us in the aviation field, unless you're just downright ignorant, there's nothing here for you. Truly, nothing here for you. Subdued!